Yolanda, welcome to An Evening With.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I want to start with that most pivotal accomplishment when at 29, I know, right? You were appointed the CEO of a JSE listed company.
Yeah.
I'm really curious to know how that happened and what it meant for you personally and professionally.
The real big step for me was the one before that, when I became the deputy CEO. And that one, actually, I couldn't even believe it when I was told that you are being considered as a candidate, because I actually said, wow. And then the chairman said, I said you were considered as a candidate, not as the position yet. And when I was appointed, I was jumping up and down, and however, when you actually get that kind of responsibility at a young age, you then actually realize the enormity of what you actually have to do. Because now it's not only about your technical capability, but also it's about how you lead.
So I'm thinking post-apartheid South Africa.
Yeah.
I'm thinking you're female. I'm thinking you're black. And you're running this listed company. So what stumbling blocks did you have to overcome in operating and providing business leadership to the company, and how did you overcome them?
When you walked into the room and you were the youngest board member in the room, you looked around, there's no one who looked like you. Everyone was 20, 30, 40 years your senior. So, you walk in there, you are intimidated. And basically the one thing that a friend of mine told me, said, Yolanda, there's only one thing you can control, and that's your competence. So the one thing that I worked hard at all the time is, what is it that I can bring to the table? Because you're young, you intimidate no one, So you had more people that were willing to help than not. And so I actually played on that kind of, I'm young, you're old, I'm young, I'm inexperienced, you're more experienced, and so on. So I actually went out there and I asked for help. And the more you ask people for help, strange enough, people who are more experienced and who are more matured as well in their position, it makes life a little bit easier to actually get things out of them as well.
But did you have any form of structured mentorship? Do you have any mentors? A part of me is thinking maybe like Tokyo, maybe like Sarah, I don't know.
Yeah. Before mentors, before anything else, I said I need a coach. And I remember the first session with my coach. She said to me, her name was Belinda, and she said to me, Belinda, what are the things that you want to achieve? And then I wrote what I wanted to achieve. And one of the things that I said, because she asked me, what is driving me to the decision that you want a coach? And I said, it's because I feel like I've got holes in my development. It feels like I just ran to the top and I actually didn't stop at any one of the stairs to actually say, have I actually filled this day actually with the capability that is required? And at the end of the sessions that we had about 10 sessions, at the end of the sessions, she asked me, she went back to the notes and she said, Yolanda, do you still think you have holes in your development? And I said, actually, no. Because I think sometimes you need validation that you know what you know. Because until it's tested in some way, you actually don't know if you are winging it or you are really doing it.
And over the years, have you seen more diversity in terms of board membership, particularly gender diversity, and what do you see to be the main benefit of that?
I'd say some of it is a transition in terms of the business and the environment, and some of it has been the individuals and what they bring to the table. So what have I seen, for example, again in Barclays? The only reason I'm picking on Barclays is because I'm the longest serving board member on that board. I'm at 10 years now, believe it or not. But I've seen the transition of board strategy actually start from hard numbers to now, for example, and then transition to issues around values, around respect, and so on. And then now it's actually migrated to shared growth. And what does that really mean? As I've seen that transition, it's meant that the social, what we used to call just social issues, and the CSI issues, corporate social investment issues, are now core to the business model of the bank, for example. So I'm picking on that, for example. Is it a female issue, or is it just because there's a change in the environment? I'm not sure, but I have seen that transition actually work through as well.
Tell us about your foundation and how you're giving back to your community.
So the foundation is the Cuba Foundation, and basically it focuses on underprivileged students where we actually see the potential in the students. What I've actually specifically said is they don't have to be top students. No. I mean, because I've said the world is actually run by people who actually got 60%, you know. And I always say I come from the world where people of the averages, and I've made it. So if everyone was actually only thinking about the person who got 80 and 90%, I would have never had the chance. So there are people like me that are actually making it and making their mark, not because they are the cleverest in the room, but because they are willing to put in the effort.
On a lighter note, and I almost feel as if Chef Salashe should be asking this question, but what's your favorite dish?
My favorite dish is umngosho, and it's a South African basic kind of food, which is samp and beans. Samp is like a mealies-derived or a corn-derived kind of staple, together with beans. So your baked beans kind of thing, yeah.
And finally, your favorite book?
Say It Right the First Time. And that book actually helped me in terms of actually being able to understand how to carry myself. You know, one of the things that, as I said, one of my biggest challenges was the transition from being a technocrat or being good at what I do to being a generalist kind of leader. And it helped me even in language to actually say, to be able to actually say, how do you transition even in your language from just going from a technocrat where it's more directive kind of leadership style to a generalist leadership style, which actually has to do, of course, with a little bit of pace setting, but more coaching and actually getting results through people rather than actually being more directive in a way. Yolanda Cuba. Let's see if she gets it right.
See?
Yolanda Cuba. Cuba.
Help me. Yolanda.
What does the clock do when it ticks? It doesn't.
It doesn't. What's that for?
What doesn't the clock go? Okay, let's hear the West African pronunciation.
Yolanda Cuba, thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.